good day. Thanks for joining us from afar. So my name is Corey, and I have my friends Macy and Laura in the room as well, helping behind the scenes. So excited to have you. So we are live here from the Akron Zoo, and what we are going to see in a little bit, we're going to bring out an animal to paint for us. All right. And people, first question they always ask, what did you bring? So you'll see in a few minutes, but I'm going to keep you in suspense. So, they always ask, did you bring a lion, a tiger, a bear, right? Oh my. But we did not, because bears, they have sharp claws, they have sharp teeth, and that would not be too fun for you. Instead of painting, you might see me getting a little hurt. So, and this is why we don't bring out those animals for a paint party, because as cool as it would be to see a snow leopard, it would be a little dangerous. So this actually is called a boomer ball. And these boomer balls can be expensive. So some of the bigger ones can be like up to my waist and be like 3 to 4 feet tall. And they can be hundreds of dollars because the company we buy them from tells us that they are supposed to be indestructible. And looking at this ball, you probably can guess it is not indestructible, right? So that company, they lie to us, but that's understandable. They may not know we're giving these to bears. So, but this was actually given to snow leopard cubs. Many years ago, we had some snow leopard cubs, about 4 or 5 months old when they had these balls to play with. So you can see a baby snow leopard did that. So all those scratches, all those puncture marks are from their teeth and claws. So that's why I didn't bring out a snow leopard to paint today. As cool as that would be, my head would probably look like this ball. And then none of you get a chance to win a painting. So that's not too fun. So in a little bit, you're going to meet one of our education animal ambassadors. So these animals are really used to coming out and doing programs, seeing people of all types. And some of these animals have been with us for years and years. So they're really friendly and safe, and they love to paint. And you may ask, why do they like to paint? Same kind of reason we might like to. So it's just a different form of what we call enrichment. So enrichment is anything we do for animals to kind of encourage different behaviors, some natural behaviors. That includes everything from some of our animals like to go swimming. So if you've ever been to the zoo and seen the grizzly bears, they love to swim. Some animals like to hunt for their food. So we scatter their food in their habitats. They actually have to work to find their food, because in the wild, does a bear have a food bowl just sitting out for them? No, right? They actually have to forage for their food. Some animals even like to watch TV. So movies. So they love the fun colors, the fun sounds. So they watch TV, not all the time, just like we're not allowed to watch TV hours every night, but maybe once a week, our parents get to enjoy a fun movie. And painting is a really good form of enrichment too. So what we use for our paint are just typically our Crayola washable paints, so that we may have used as finger painting when we were younger, right? So that same kind of paint. So it's not safe, or it's not safe. It is safe. It's not poisonous if they were to ingest it. So some of our animals, they like the feeling of it. So walking through the paint is kind of a cool texture to it. Some of them like to smell it. So it does have a different smell, something they don't smell all the time. Even seeing the colors. So a lot of our animals, they see colors just like we do. So seeing the bright blues and yellows and greens is something different for them. And some animals even ingest it, which we don't want them eating a lot of it. But if they do, just like if we were to eat some of this paint, we're not going to get sick. We just have to keep an eye on it. And we do have an animal, Marcy the opossum, that loves to sometimes lick up the paint. So we always make sure we let the keepers know the next day, hey, Marcy was painting with red today. So don't be worried, because when she poops, it may be purple, it may be red or blue, right? And that's okay. So we are going to get this painting ready. So we're going to paint a little 5x7 canvas today. And then once that dry, like your library mentioned, one of you is going to win that painting. So it's going to be mailed to the library, and then they can distribute it to you. And you will get a picture with that animal as well. So we'll go ahead and bring out our star today that is going to do some painting. So she is small, but she is mighty, and she is a great artist. So we'll see how creative she is feeling today. So we are going to paint with Styx here. So Styx is a lizard, and her specific, she's looking at you, tilting her head at you. So her specific type of lizard is a uromastyx. So that's why we named her Styx. So Styx is spelled S-T-Y-X. And she is a girl. So a lot of times with lizards, it's really hard to tell if they're boys or girls. Sometimes uromastyx you can tell just by looking. So sometimes the boys have some more vibrant colors to attract a lady for a girlfriend. And then the girls have sometimes more of a duller color. But uromastyx, they can actually change their color a little bit. So not really like we might think with a chameleon, how chameleons can camouflage by changing greens and blues and reds and yellows. Uromastyx really only change their colors depending on the temperature. So when it's nice and hot, and Styx likes it hot. So in days we've had lately in the 90s, Styx loves this weather. So she gets a little darker and more colorful when the sun is out and she's hot. And that dark color like she has right now helps her absorb the color. So just like if you've ever been outside on a hot day like today, you have a black t-shirt on, it's going to feel kind of hot. You can feel the heat being absorbed into your shirt. Whereas if you had like a white color t-shirt, you don't get as hot because you're kind of reflecting that light off. So Styx likes to get a little darker when it's sunny out, and that helps her absorb heat. Because like I said, she loves the heat. And uromastyx live in parts of Asia and parts of Africa where it can get 120 plus degrees. So she definitely is an animal that does not like the cold. So she really depends on the heat. And since it's Ohio and we know it gets cold here and we can't always depend on the big sunny thing in the sky in the wintertime. So we make sure Styx gets some really awesome lamps. So she has really fancy light bulbs that give her all the energy and UV light to keep her nice and happy and healthy throughout the year. So we'll talk a little bit more about her. I'll put it down for a second. And we are going to pick some paint colors. So I brought out some colors today. So blue, we got green, red, yellow, purple, and pink. So I'm not sure if anyone out there wants to help, but we're going to pick 2 paint colors. So if anyone has any ideas or someone wants to be a volunteer and pick one color or another color, feel free, or I can pick them too, whatever's easier. Do we have a volunteer that wants to pick a color?
I have a vote for pink.
All right, we'll do pink and then one more.
One more. One more color. Purple? Red.
Red.
Red, all right.
There's also in the chat a vote for green.
Okay.
Okay, we can do all 3. Sure. Does those?
Oh, there
those
you go.
Sure.
It'll be a unique combo. We don't always do 3, so this will be a very special occasion. So, all right, so we'll put some down here and then we'll spread it out to make it a little bit easier for Styx to walk through. And Styx, when she is excited to paint, she gets going. And she's like coming out of her kennel right now. She is excited. Some of our animals take a little bit longer, but Styx is one of the ones that likes to get going pretty fast. And then I say that, and then she'll just stare at me, but we'll see here. And we do this painting, like I said, it's for enrichment, but we also sell them multiple times throughout the year. So we have a show we do around the holidays that we sell a lot of the animal artwork. So a lot of our animals paint. So some of them don't paint live because they get a little camera shy, but almost all of our education animals do some sort of painting here. And then we sell those and it goes to conservation. So it helps some of their animal friends in the wild. So they're helping their animal friends that might be struggling in the wild, which I think is a really cool thing. So put Styx down here and see if she wants to get going. So we kind of let them just kind of move on their own. Sometimes we help them a little bit, but Styx she might be a little camera shy today. So, but yeah, uromastyx. So she is, I think 10, I think she's 10 years old or 11. I forget when exactly her birthday is in the year. But they can live like 15 or so years. So we still hope to have Styx around for a little bit longer. There we go. Got some cool prints. You'll notice Styx, uromastyx actually comes from a Greek word. So I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But it means kind of a tail whip, which is a good name for a uromastyx because you might notice she has that really long spiky tail on her. And uromastyx use that tail to protect themselves. So they whip that tail really hard and really fast, and that could hurt some other animals. For us, it wouldn't hurt us since she is much smaller than us. But for small animals, that tail could really hurt because it's kind of spiky and really hard. So she'll whip that tail around. She'll also, when she sleeps in her den, she sleeps kind of with her tail kind of curled on the outside of the doorway. So that way it kind of looks spiky and scary. Oh, she's coming over to see you guys. Spiky and scary. And that way someone may not want to enter that door and get to her. So it's a cool way she protects herself with her tail. She is really flat too, so she has a really kind of flat body, so that helps her kind of crawl under rocks if she needed to get away. And also, she will sometimes need to hide from the sun, right? So we talked about she lives sometimes in the deserty areas where it gets really hot, and she doesn't really always get the chance to cool down because reptiles like Styx are cold-blooded. So that means their body temperature is always the temperature of the room that they are in. So if it's like 90 degrees out, she is 90 degrees. She's feeling happy. If it gets up to 130 degrees, her body temperature could be 130 degrees. And after a while, that might be too hot for her. So she might need to kind of crawl under the rocks or dig in the soil a little bit to get out of the sun to kind of help her body cool down. Because reptiles like Styx can't regulate their body temperature like we do. Because on a hot day, we are able to sweat, and that's our body's way of cooling down. And then if we're cold and we don't have a coat, our body kind of shivers, and that's trying to warm ourselves up. But reptiles can't do that. So she sometimes has to get out of the sun to cool off. And also, since she's living in the desert, she doesn't always have access to water. So she does need to drink. All living things need water. But she gets most of her water through the food that she eats. So she mostly eats vegetables. So she might occasionally eat some bugs, but mostly vegetation. So, and in the wild, she could be eating things like cacti or other kind of greens, and that gives her all the water she needs. So just like if you've ever eaten maybe a strawberry or like a piece of lettuce, you notice it's really a lot of water in those kind of things. So that's how Styx is going to get her water. And a gross fact, because I always like to tell gross facts about our animals, because I always think it's fun. So Styx actually has a really cool trick that she can do. So Styx actually likes to blow her nose. And when she blows her nose, the only thing that comes out is salt. And that sounds kind of weird. But you know, when we kind of sweat or perspire, sometimes it's kind of salty, right? If you ever sweat into your mouth, it's kind of gross, kind of salty. That's our body kind of releasing moisture and salt. So she needs to do that too. But when she needs to get rid of salt and stuff from her body, she doesn't really want to sweat. Reptiles can't really sweat, but if she was to kind of sneeze out her nose, she doesn't want to lose any water because living in the desert, she needs all the water that she can get. So because of that, she will only, when she kind of sneezes, only salt comes out, so no water. So sometimes it looks like she kind of has some salt around her nose. So she gets really, really salty sneezes. So that's her cool way of getting rid of salt if she needs to, but keeping all the moisture in her body. You'll notice she has those really long claws. So she uses those for digging. So uromastyx are really good diggers. And they have been said that in the wild, they can have burrows as long as like 10 feet, which is crazy for such a small animal that they can dig such long burrows. So Styx is just wanting to keep coming this way, but we may get one more pass by here. I think this painting is looking pretty cool. So we got some cool tail swipes on there. So we got a cool tail swipe right there. We got some little toenail prints. So she's giving us some cute little toenail prints. And she, like I said, you see, and she is ready to paint for you all today. So she doesn't paint too often, but when she does, she gets really excited to show her creative streak. And I think she makes beautiful work. So we'll see here. And then our friend Laura is warming up some water over there. So that way we can give Styx a nice little bath. So our reptiles, they clean off really easy, right? That's why we use this washable paint. So that way they can just soak for a little bit, give them a little rub, and then that paint comes right off. So she's like, I'm done. I'm posing now for you. Check out my beautiful art piece. So yeah, so we'll get the water in a few minutes here. But in the meantime, does anyone out there have any questions about Styx or our paintings or the zoo or anything at all? Feel free to unmute and ask if you have any questions. No questions out there? Or you can type them in the chat, whichever is easier. So yeah, we're excited here at the zoo because we have a new area opening. So I'm not sure if any of you have been to the zoo recently, but Memorial Day weekend, we opened a new area at the zoo that has 2 new tigers, so a boy and girl tiger, 3 new red panda sisters, and then 2 white cheek gibbons, which are a type of kind of like a monkey. So awesome, thank you. So our lovely bath here. So we'll give Styx a little soak. So you also get a bonus treat. You get to watch a lizard take a bath. And how often does that happen? So she'll just soak in there for a few minutes, and that helps get some of that paint off. And on a hot day, you know, I wish I had a pool that I could just take a bath in right now.
Someone asked, can we visit Styx at the zoo?
That is a good question. So unfortunately, you probably will never see Styx at the zoo in her habitat. So a lot of our animals and education aren't visible by the public because they go out a lot. So they do a lot of programs out. So they go sometimes to libraries and schools and churches and festivals. So we don't want them being here, and then someone comes to the zoo and they get upset if they see a place that's empty with no animal in it. But Styx sometimes, if you're here in the summer, Styx is an animal that does do a lot of encounters out in the zoo. So a lot of our seasonal staff will bring animals like Styx out on a day. So you might be walking around and see someone that is holding an animal like Styx. Because like we mentioned, Styx likes it warm. So Styx loves being out in the summer and getting all that fresh sunlight. Good job. So getting some of that water off. So little scrubs. Good job. Any other questions out there? So I think we got a pretty cool painting here. And then you will be getting a photo with it too. So you get a cute photo of Miss Styx that will come with your painting. And it'll be numbered. So it's a completely unique piece. So I don't know if we've ever done a red, green, pink combo. So I think that's pretty cool. So, but yeah, thank you all for joining us today. Hopefully you enjoy seeing our friend Styx get to paint for you. And we'll be dropping this in the mail this week to your library. And then they will get to pick a lucky winner. And you will have a painting.
We have one more question.
Yeah, definitely.
When is a good time to come and visit?
When is a good time to come visit? We're open almost every day of the year, only closed a few days a year. So anytime you can come, I think is a good time. But if you like it maybe more quieter, I always say the fall is a really good time because a lot of our animals are more active when it's cooler out. Because you kind of imagine, right, on a day that's like 90 out like it is today, you don't want to be running around in the sun, right? You're going to be taking a nap. You're going to be laying in the shade, staying cool. But on a fall day where it's maybe like 60 degrees, it's sunny, it's nice out, our animals, just like us, they like to be out running around, having more fun. So I always say on a cooler fall or spring day is a really good time to come see the animals. But it's fun all year round because animals, we have a lot of North American animals. So it's nice, even when it's snowing, they are excited to be out. So our bears like to be on the winter, the otters and wolves. So it's fun to see them all different times of the year. Cool. All right. So no last questions. Thank you all for joining us. And hopefully one of you will enjoy your Styx painting. And we hope to hopefully see you at the zoo soon.